Studio 6B on a Friday night at the America First Warehouse. Glad you're in. Another Friday night. We are excited to be here, and of course, we are excited to have a bunch of Patriots in the room, as we always do on Friday night. Slick Rick is here. He's going to do sports. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
Looking good tonight.
On a Friday night.
What would you call that?
Green marble.
All right, green.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Well, of course.
Well, that's what I documented as when I document my suits.
I was debating green marble tonight as well.
And peacock boots.
Oh, okay. Very good.
That goes without saying.
Yeah. Yes.
He blends in with the countertop.
Everybody has peacock boots, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I do. You're right.
Exactly right. Vinnie Mac is here. He's going to do some news. Vinnie Mac, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I had the closing of another Facebook battle with one of my close friends, Charlie, who we were talking about.
Oh, God.
How's Charlie today?
And Charlie said, you insulted me. You said I'm brainwashed. And I thought, you are brainwashed.
Yeah.
You're not. I don't think you're brainwashed. You are brainwashed. It's my liberal attack of the day.
Did you convert him?
I did not convert him. No. I got the door slammed on me and never speak to me again. But still, he is brainwashed.
Now was
a
he
win-win.
watching last night's show?
He did not see last night's show.
Good thing.
Oh, okay.
He saw last night's show. I never even had a conversation about it.
All right, very good. Rick Delgado's here. He's going to do some news as well. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am good. Me and Charlie are going out later after the show because he needs new friends.
Yeah.
Good friend.
Obviously,
You're perfect.
I am good. Had a good day, and wow, so much news going on, Damon.
So much going on. Okay, well, we'll get
So
to all,
much going on.
We will get to all of it. The man, the myth, the legend, KDJ, Kevin Downey Jr., host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. There we go. 9 to 11, weekday mornings, right here on 103.9 LI News Radio, where you are listening to us right now. Live
You brought your
from
whole
the
family?
Live from the American First Warehouse.
Wow.
KDJ, how are you?
I'm lovely, thank you. It's great to be back at the American First Warehouse, the most patriotic venue on the planet. All right? Because, I was leaving the radio station. I pulled out of MacArthur, and I got onto Vets Highway, and there was a bunch of crusty old hippies. And they were waving signs that said "Free El Brego."
Garcia,
yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
And so I went around back, and I had my video camera on, and I had my sunroof open. It was pouring, and I started taping them, and they're like, "Yeah." And then I showed them my MAGA hat, and then they told me to move to Russia. That's what they told me, because they still think that Trump-Russia thing is a thing.
Yeah.
That's how.
All right, good.
They're not in control of their brains anymore.
No.
So,
All right, very good. How was you? Now, last week you were, well, we weren't here last week. The week before you were not here because you were in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. How did your show go?
Great, thanks. A lot of fans of the show there, coming out to hang out, take pictures and whatnot. Shippensburg is not the biggest town in the world.
No.
Don't say that.
You're kidding.
Don't say that.
Believe it or not, if you want to find Shippensburg, you go to the middle of nowhere and
Make a left.
Then there you are. There you are.
Yeah.
But a lot of great people, Patriots coming out, big fans of the show. Always a pleasure to hang out with people who dig the show.
All right, very good. Kevin Downey Jr. will have some news. Paul Nolan is in the house tonight. Mr. Nolan.
Hey.
How are you?
I am well. I'm well.
What's caught your attention today in the news? Anything?
Well, Trump bad, Trump really bad,
Yeah.
Trump evil, Elon drug addict, Trump bad.
Yes. Well, that pretty much sums it up. Good night, everybody. All right.
Right.
All right, so we'll get to news with all the boys. We got some topics to throw around. I've brought a couple, too, but I want to start, and I always enjoy starting because we're getting a lot of stuff mailed to us, a lot of gifts from the Live from Studio 6B audience.
Yeah.
And we got one here at the America's First Warehouse when we got here, and I just want to read this quickly and acknowledge Dean from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He said, guys, just wanted to show my support for your show. I watch every night, Monday through Friday, religiously. Thought I would make you all a little something to show my support. Keep driving. Keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy all of your political talk and humor. Please take care and good luck. And this is from Dean. And just take a look at this.
Look at that.
Yeah, wood, beautiful. That's cool.
Little cutting board action.
He whittled that
The
himself.
note on the back.
And he sent also all of us our own.
And all of us got our own keychain.
Keychains with our names on it. Same thing.
Yeah.
Very nice, Dean. Thank you very much. I'm glad he whittled this in shop class for us.
Yeah, so very
awesome.
nice. So
Awesome.
Thank you very much for that. We
Build it
appreciate
all out
it.
of one piece of driftwood.
Yes.
Nice.
And it's nice wood, too, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, there's lots of places to start, but I thought we'd start with this Atlas Intel poll. Have you seen this? It's out now.
No,
There's,
a poll?
I thought this would be fun to start the show with. 2028 Democratic primary for President of the United States. Let me tell you who's in the lead. Why don't you all give me a little
I'm
thought
guessing.
here.
I got to guess.
I got to guess.
In the lead, coming in at 31.5%. That's plus 3.8% from April. Paul Nolan, that would be Pete Buttigieg.
Man,
Really?
Wow.
In the lead.
that's crazy.
31.5% think that he's the guy.
This is the best news I heard all day.
Okay.
This is great.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what? I'm telling you right now, Pete Buttigieg is never going to be president of the United States.
Okay.
Because I'm from Michigan, a huge Arab and Muslim voting bloc, and a lot of black folks. And you know what they all have in common? They don't like Pete Buttigieg. They don't like him. They're not big fans on white homosexuals. So, and I'm not being all racist here or anything, but
No.
I'm not going to vote
Never.
for him.
No.
Right.
No, I'm telling you.
Just an observation.
I've had people tell me they're
Just free
not
streaming.
So I'm at a Klan rally the other day.
What's that, Aaron?
No.
We're off the air already? Okay.
The only
Pack it up.
time I've seen the Muslims and the Republicans really get together was when they found pornography in the schools in Dearborn,
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Which is, Dearborn, Michigan is like, we'll call it a Hamas training camp or whatever you want. But yeah, they buddied up with the Republicans. They have no love at all whatsoever for porn, for gay people, for anything.
Okay.
Meanwhile, for the rest of us, that's a good Saturday night.
Tim, check your emails.
Somebody check that live from Studio 6B cup that's in front of
Oh,
Downey
man.
Jr.
What a
telling you.
start.
Coming in second at 19.4%. Second place
Why are you pointing
for the
at me?
2028. 'cause you're
AOC?
next. AOC.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Let them run
That is
together.
unbelievable.
That's great.
That ding dong.
That is awesome.
That's what I thought. I thought
That is-
this is a poll that's leading me right to a
Yeah.
JD Vance presidency here in 2020.
Yeah.
That's a
Imagine
dream
him debating
ticket.
them.
I mean, what are you gonna hit us with next, Damon? Something like crazy, like a Jasmine Crockett?
Now,
Oh,
Stephen
my
A.
goodness.
Smith, maybe?
She's not on the list.
Is Stephen A. on the list?
No,
that's a
Stephen A. is on the list,
Yeah.
but he doesn't barely register at
Okay.
0.3%.
Skim milk.
0.3%.
He's pulling skim milk.
'cause he's a man.
Buttigieg, AOC, Kamala Harris comes in third at 16.6%.
Kamala.
Cory Booker comes in fourth
Cory
at
Booker.
10.4%.
Wow. I
man.
think Danny Bottaducci has the best shot out of all of them.
He's not even
Gotta bring
worse
him
anymore.
back.
You know what, D? They just gave Cory Booker a book deal. That tells me they're
Yes.
giving him money to run.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
writing
yeah.
a book on his stupid standing up there for 24 hours.
That nobody paid attention
Boy,
to.
that's got me on the edge of my seat to read a book
Yeah.
about that. That's enthralling.
That 25-hour speech could put a can of Red Bull to sleep. No one cared.
Yeah, no one cared. Exactly right.
Wait.
Now, let's flip it. Let's go to the Republican side. According to Atlas Intel 2028 Republican primary, of course, J.D. Vance at
Yeah.
37.3%.
I like JD.
I thought the interesting part was number 2, and that
Marco?
is Marco Rubio.
Yeah, Marco stepped up big.
A lot of people like him.
He's come a long way. I mean,
Yes.
he's earned a lot of street cred for me because he's been a Republican for a long time. He's been in Congress. You've heard him speak about things. You know, you've kind of seen him play the political game. And boom, as soon as Trump put him in the cabinet, he is tough as nails. He has been outspoken. He's managed the media as good as really anybody out there. Vance and Rubio, I mean, I've seen just absolute slaughters with the media. And Elon. I mean, Elon's probably right up there. Those three guys have handled him great. So I like Marco a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm a Vance guy all the way. I supported him from the very beginning.
Number 3, Donald Trump Jr. at 8, and he's new into the poll. He's new. They make a note of it that he's new
Yeah.
at 8.8%. DeSantis at 8, Ramaswamy 5.3, and then you get Scott, Youngkin, Cotton, Abbott, Kemp, Noem. But even if you read the bottom, I mean, you just read even the bottom half of our list as opposed to the bottom half of their list, which is Whitmer, Warnock, Murphy, Ro Khanna, Stephen A. Smith,
George Costanza.
Andy Bashir.
Yeah, I believe. I think. Yeah.
Andy Bashir, Rahm Emanuel, and Fat Boy from Chicago, Pritzker.
Yeah. They got a deep bench there, don't they?
That's the list.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
I mean, I read that list, Buttigieg at the top, AOC, and I'm thinking, let's just walk right into 2028 because
why
Are
not?
you kidding me?
Let them field a lame ass group here. It's perfect for us.
And by then the media will be fully dead. So all the support they get behind AOC it'll go nowhere because, I mean, she can't formulate a sentence at times. I mean, some of the things she says in interviews, you're like, please run. Oh, please run.
I mean, Vance Rubio versus Buttigieg, AOC.
Wow.
All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Those guys are just so smart too. Like they'll never be beaten on topics or anything. Our guys are just great.
You know what, though? These Marxists, they fail upward. They fail upward. Right now, AOC, her district in Queens, is crawling with prostitutes.
Yeah.
Hooas, as they say on The Sopranos. But you know what, though?
Yeah. Tell me,
Here's the thing.
is Connie still there? No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Here's what people aren't putting together. So there's prostitution all over. And I don't just mean in AOC's district. It's everywhere. Who's running it? That would be the Venezuelan gangs by and large.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is a vote for AOC is a vote for Venezuelan gangs taking over your neighborhood and bringing all the prostitutes with them. Like, who's going to vote for that?
Yeah, well, her district is falling apart.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who lives there, and I've been by the Bronx. I got friends in the Bronx. I go there all the time. It is a demilitarized zone in her district.
Yeah.
And there's no publicity. Nobody talks about it. It's why I cannot stand, the left and the media, because these are major things. They're propping people up, and yet their districts are on fire. That's the story.
Wait, you're surprised that the media is propping people up? Did you not pay attention to The Walking Dead that we just witnessed for 4 years?
I'm always surprised
Holy
because
moly.
I can't believe people are this deceitful.
Man.
What's more surprising is that the people still believe it.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. You can see it happen in front of your face, but a liberal will still be like, no, he seems fine to me. No, AOC, she makes plenty of sense.
Yep.
No, she's great.
Yep.
She's awesome.
That's the brainwashing. I was just talking to someone about this before. For some reason, they are so brainwashed into thinking all this righteousness that they have and the media behind them, people like AOC and so on, you cannot have a conversation. You forget about an argument or a debate.
I had one yesterday.
Just ask
like
Charlie.
that. Full-blown lib.
Charlie.
Couldn't get through to her. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw Bill Maher had Tim Pool on, and Tim Pool starts giving facts about Russiagate, and Bill Maher goes, I don't want to get into the weeds. What, really? The facts are the weeds?
He just wants to smoke
when
them.
when did the facts become the weeds?
He wanted weed.
Exactly.
Because he believed the weeds.
Control the weeds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, live from,
Couldn't smoke it.
Smoke the weed.
live from Studio 6B at the America First Warehouse on a Friday night. We got lots of news and sports all coming up right after this.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Chat. We are live
Nice.
in the
Oh, gotta check
chat
out chat.
That's gonna
on a Friday
That's
night.
going to be great. Good. Great thing.
Hey, Belmore boys, you see my Harley behind me? I rode that baby in here. Yeah. Don't let this whole look here throw you off, man. I'm a Harley guy. All right?
Yeah, we could tell. It has to be the socks.
That's awesome, huh? And look at the one behind you, the Trump chopper there. What's that great movie what Peter Fonda was in?
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider. Yeah, I mean
Easy
that's
Rider.
it. Yeah,
Rider.
the Trump chopper.
Howdy, Rumblers. People in the Rumble chat jumping over to the Twix. That's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Slick, grab me one while you're at it. Thank you, sir.
I'll have a steak sandwich, if you could. Thank you, Slick. Appreciate that.
And a steak sandwich?
Steak sandwich and a steak
I'll just take the lobster thermidor.
Put that on
That's
the
400
Underhill
a
bill.
portion.
Bill.
In that case, you
Underhill is
better
left.
make it two.
That's already went up for his colonoscopy. He'll be back. What's going on in the chat?
Chat.
Chat's humming along.
Just saying hey to the people in the YouTubes, right? In the YouTubes.
All right,
We got the
chat, let's
YouTubers.
hit
Thank
that
you,
like
sir.
button. Let's get us over 400 tonight.
We got a hot dog truck?
We got a hot dog.
truck.
From what I understand, there's going to be Mr. Softy too.
Whoa.
And Mario Cuomo will be out there serving.
9:30.
9:30.
Mr. Softy.
Nice.
Eat the hot dog.
Custom mustard.
Mr. Softy, man. Come on, does that bring memories back growing up
Oh, yeah.
on Long Island?
Ah. All right, everybody. We got a super chat from Drag Blacker in the YouTubes. $10 super chat there. Damon, don't get cocky. The left thought they'd be in power forever, too, after the Obama years. The big tent that got Trump includes people who are not and never were conservative and won't vote for Republicans. That's a good point, Drag Blacker. We appreciate the super chat.
How is it being cocky to think that Rubio and Vance will whoop up on Booty Juice and AOC?
Because they already got Biden elected. Who knows what they could be cooking up for the next election.
You just need debates. I mean, you just need to put our guys in front of them.
Just have them talk.
Just have them talk.
That's
yes.
it.
What's your strategy?
back.
Let them talk.
Let them-
All right, live from Studio 6B at the America First Warehouse on a Friday night, May 30th. Glad you're in. All the boys are here. Everyone's going to have their version of the news. Lots of stuff to cover. We're going to do sports with Slick here in a second. Lots of headlines to get to. Lots of videos. Man, one of the great interviews I've seen all year was today. Speaking of sports, Slick, California attorney Julie Hamill on CNN today, and I'll get to that in a little bit. I mean, it's one of the great interviews. Boy, you could tell. You want an attorney in California, Julie Hamill would be the one you want to look up because you can tell. She took the witness, leaded her, and the witness happened to be a host on CNN. She took the witness and led her right to where she wanted to and let her talk herself right into basic humiliation, quite frankly.
Wow.
So I'll play that on Transgender Sports. It was quite amazing the way she handled her. So we'll get to that. Lots of other headlines. Obviously, Supreme Court gives President Trump somewhat of a win today on parole program for 500,000 migrants. We'll get into that as well here in a second. We'll let all the guys jump in on that. But let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, MyPillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you shop at MyPillow. Use our code at checkout. It'll give you a great savings. Slick, what's going on?
All right, Big D. Well, before I get to bringing you the constant variety of transgender in sports, I want to get to a couple other stories right now. Starting with the Stanley Cup Finals are set, guys. Ice hockey, we got to get going. Edmonton Oilers and Florida Panthers in a Stanley Cup rematch. Defending champions will be going out to Edmonton. Game 1 Wednesday night, and Edmonton is a slight favorite there. So I think this might be their year with Connor McDavid. I'm looking at Paul because he's the big hockey fan on the panel here. But I think we got a good one, Paul.
Yeah, but to me, what's so shocking is Edmonton's played great defense. This is a team that legitimately doesn't know there's 3 zones on the ice. They stay out of the D zone like there's leprosy in there. They've been locking down. And we know how Florida, they're just tough. They bang you, they hit you, they're heavy, and they're fast. So this is 2 very fast teams, and one's got more finesse, one's got way more grit. This should be fun.
I think so. I think everybody should root for Florida because I know they will go to the White House. Edmonton wins. They will not go to the White House for President Trump. We know the Panthers were good enough to go last year.
Root for a red state or a commie nation.
Exactly.
Let me think this one over.
Perfect. Right, Kev? And Kev was talking about them, too. We're not rooting for the Oilers. We have to say that. Good point.
Yeah.
And NBA Finals, not just yet, because we have our New York Knicks. They got a big Game 6 tomorrow night in Indiana, trying to tie it up with the Pacers. Knicks win tomorrow night. It's going to force a Game 7, which will be Monday night. So tomorrow night, 8 p.m., you're going to want to tune in. Root for the New York Knickerbockers. They haven't won an NBA championship since 1973. Long time, long time. Most of the people in this room weren't born yet, right? But good
Wait,
stuff.
Damon, what team are you going to bet on tomorrow night?
I'll have to see the line. I'm
Because
not sure.
your bet yesterday, the Knicks won because you bet against them. I want to see.
I told you I was covered either way.
Yeah.
You were covered. That's true.
Let's see. Tomorrow night, Indiana's -3.5.
That's interesting.
I think I got to be on the Knicks.
You gotta be.
No.
I think the Knicks tie it up tomorrow night. Game
Oh,
7
no.
will be a mess. I know you
No.
love
Wouldn't it be a
Oh,
perfect
you're
New
the
York
worst.
sports team by breaking everyone's heart in Game 7
Of course.
instead of Game 6?
In MAGA Square Garden? Where else, right?
MAGA
exactly.
Square
That's what's going to
Garden. I
happen,
love
Paul. You know it. I told you they should have renamed it. And, well, I'm going to give you a transgender story. I got a couple like you tonight, Big D. Well, World Boxing to require gender tests for all boxers in the 2028 Olympics, which is a good thing. So we have the Olympics in Los Angeles. They're not going to make mockery of the United States as we host it for the first time since 1984
Yes.
when it was in L.A. And we got Warner Todd Houston and Breitbart reporting on this story. World Boxing has pushed out a new policy that requires all boxers to undergo a gender test to be eligible to fight in sanctioned bouts, including the upcoming 2028 Olympics. The rule appears to be aimed at forcing Algerian Olympic boxer Iman Khalif. Remember President Trump? She hit me once and I never got hit like that before, right? And well, this is the one that did the hitting, and we got to keep her out of there. So, or him out of there, I should say. But the new policy is key since the International Olympic Committee has contracted with the World Boxing to organize the boxing competition at the upcoming Olympics planned for LA in 2028. Khalif instantly became the center of controversy for being allowed to compete as a female in the International Olympic Games in Paris this year, despite being banned in 2023 by the International Boxing Association, the IBA. So they're going to do a lot closer job of testing, and obviously I think they'll end up getting women at least out of men out of women's boxing. That'll be really nice. So
It's shocking that this is even like a story. We shouldn't even be talking. It's so obvious that we should not even be talking about the fact that men are playing in women's sports or in the locker rooms or doing any of this stuff.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time.
all the time. I mean,
We talk about 80-20 issues that they'll die on the hill on.
Yeah.
This is 99-1.
Yeah,
I've been a sports
Who
fan
in their
since,
right mind is still on this?
since 73. I've been a sports fan. Never in my wildest dreams until I got on this show, and even a couple of years on the show, we didn't talk about it. And just the last 3 years or so, 2-3 years, it's just been absolutely crazy. So yeah, that's the one downside of this. But hopefully, obviously with the administration, it's not hopefully, it will get cleaned up. Forget about the hopefully, it's getting cleaned up by President Trump. Thank God for that. Amen. That's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFSXP is the promo code to use there. We'll do some more sports here in
Nice.
one with Sixter.
Thank you.
We're live at the America's First Warehouse, Real America's Voice, 103.9 LI News Radio. So probably the headline of the day of many, President Trump's speech, obviously in Pennsylvania was another one. But this morning, Trump wins major immigration battle as Supreme Court blocks parole program for 500,000 migrants. Supreme Court on Friday, and we've been talking on the show the last couple nights, and I was saying that every damn day you wake up and all you see in the headlines is court this, judge this, court that, judge overturned this ruling. Well, today, obviously, we got this headline. Supreme Court on Friday allows President Trump to shut down, for now, they say,
For now, of course.
the Biden-era parole program for illegal immigrants, freeing Mr. Trump to push hundreds of thousands of migrants into unlawful status. The court, in a brief, undersigned order, blocked the ruling of District Judge Talwani, which ordered the Trump administration to continue processing cases. I read these things, and I just get to the point where it's just like, think of a judge, one single judge of 677 telling the chief executive that everybody voted for to put in a position that this was the number one issue they voted for. Here you have a judge telling him what he can and can't be doing as far as who's allowed into this country and who's not. It's absolute insanity that a judge somewhere across the country thinks they're going to set immigration rule for 330 million people, while 330 million people voted for the guy who's in the White House to do just damn this and get him out of here.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're empowered by not only Congress, but the Supreme Court not stepping in, right? They haven't stepped in to clarify, hey, you guys have no say into what the president does. You're not part of the three pillars of government. You guys handle the crap we don't want to handle, and that's where it stops. But nobody's told them that. And they continue not to tell them that. And Congress doesn't step in because, of course, with like trying to cut the budget, they're like, oh, I don't know, look, everything looks good to me. Because they're all on the side of, we don't want to upset our apple cart. We're getting lots of apples from the American people, and we want to keep the gravy train going. And if we allow him to, do what he wants to do under the powers of the presidency, that's going to mess things up for them.
I think also the Supreme Court, we've talked about, let's force the Supreme Court to rule. I've been of the opinion that, you know what, Donald? Don't even listen to these other courts. But what the responsibility of the Supreme Court right now, with what's been created, is restoring trust in our government and in our court system and all that. It's the rulings, number one, that have to be effectuated. But we have lost so much trust in all of these agencies. And the Supreme Court has a responsibility to our country to rule on these things quickly and help restore trust. Because we have no trust. Do we trust any of these? We mock these judges. We have no trust in the system. No. The system's upside down. We hear every day there's a new judge ruling on something, and someone comes out of the woods with their social media postings, and they're all anti-this, and they hate Trump, and they do all this stuff. The Supreme Court has more of a responsibility not just to overturn, but to bring trust back to this country. And I challenge them to do that, and if they don't do it, we're in trouble.
Absolutely.
All right, more on this, plus other news.
Absolutely.
Live from Studio 6B on a Friday night, live at the American Sports Warehouse. We're back, ready?
Harumph. You got a harumph.
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 All right, chat. We are live in the chat saying hello to Oregon. We got somebody watching in the Rumble chat from Oregon. Where'd it go? I lost it. It goes back so fast. TJK 3746 in the chat. Hassan Pfeffer's in the chat. I'm talking about the Rumblers. Marty Kinn, Ratchet, Too Naughty. I left my doll at home, Too Naughty. I didn't have my Thursday
Aaron,
shirt
is
on.
Kevin doing his thing here?
Not the thing.
I can barely hear you.
Check it into the YouTubes.
Yeah, I'd like to, yeah.
Over on the YouTube chat, we've got Child of the King, Damon. Where is it?
Do we have somebody?
Yeah, because people are commenting left and right. They see the mic.
Where's KDJ? Oh, here he comes.
Child of the King sent 20 live from Studio 6B gift memberships out. Child of the King.
Pretty entertaining.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Paulina to go first. You know where the mic is?
In the YouTubes.
Oh, man.
Mike Yax is in there.
Mike?
Troy Malone.
Mike Yax, you said?
Yep. Cats B.
Check.
Yes, Cats B. I just announced the 40 memberships from Child of the King.
Oh, Child of the King. Yes, thank you, Rick.
30
I know
seconds,
I saw that.
Evan, 30
Thank you for
seconds.
picking that up. I saw 20. She did another 20?
Yeah.
So 40.
So
wow.
it's up to 40.
Wow.
Child of the King. Thank you.
Farmer Brook.
Stand by.
In the Twix.
He's getting them now. Yeah.
William Lewis, Tree Finder. Nancy Burns.
Got old day,
Tumbleweed
David, don't
Farmer. Patrick Owen Ahern.
Pick a topic. I wrote some stuff down. I can't see it without my glasses.
Connie Lou.
Hold on.
Racing Banshee. C. Jules, also in the Twix chat. I love college grad failure. Such a cool name.
It's kind of an oxymoron, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do both.
But then again, these days, it's kind of a...
Chris Allen. Damon looks clueless.
We talked about that.
That guy loves you. Chris Allen.
Really? Chris Allen?
Yeah.
I thought that guy was a good guy.
Tumbleweed Farmer, no, I'm not a fireman. I don't know what gives you that idea.
Oh, you think you're a fireman?
Yeah, he thinks I'm a fireman.
Maybe you put out a lot of fires around here. Who
I
knows?
guess so.
All right, thank you.
I like to light them, actually.
I'm going to take this off for now.
Speaking of fires, how's that grill doing outside?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the America First Warehouse. You're watching live from Studio 6B, Friday night. Welcome back, my friend. How are you, sir?
All right, Kev, what's going on?
You know what? I'll tell you a lot, but I think you got something on your mind. What do you want to tell us? What's going on?
Well, listen, you guys brought it up before. The Dems presidential race. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? AOC, the bartender? I mean, ridiculous.
So wait, you don't think AOC, who's brought prostitutes into her neighborhood with Pete Buttgiggles, can take this nation by storm?
I mean, the only thing we can get out of it is free drinks for everybody.
Now you're talking.
What's Pete Buttgiggles going to give you, though? Bow chicka bow wow.
Oh, my God.
What do you...
But I tell you what we got to encourage. One thing we got to encourage is live at 6B watch parties across the country. This is a national radio station, national radio program, national radio TV program. But we know there's a lot of people who can't get here to Ronkonkoma. But listen, let's get a lot of watch parties going. Let's get it up on YouTube. Let's get it up on Facebook. Let's get it up on Getter. Let's promote the program.
Truth Social, too. Yeah.
Truth Social. All the Facebook, all the social media that supports this program, because we know you guys are out there, right? Let's get it up. Let's get it going.
Hurrah!
Low.
Live from 6B parties. We want to see yours. Send us videos. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming back. Folks, let's go back to Big D at the stage. Let's do this.
All right, KDJ, very, very good. Of course, especially Truth Social, by the way. Truth Social, of course, the president's, where the president exclusively, and where Real America's Voice, by the way, is one of, well, not that many, but you can watch Real America's Voice on Truth Social 24/7. The streaming channel is there consistently.
Nice.
So absolutely
I
true.
did
Put
not
Truth
know that.
Social at the top of the list. All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday, live at the America First Warehouse. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports. We'll do some more of that, but let's get to some news. Rick Delgado's got the headlines. We'll start there. Mr. Delgado, what's going on?
Oh, my God. The biggest headline comes from the Rumble chat, Damon. Believe it or not. Wheezy Cat checking in saying, Damon is wearing shoes tonight. Yes.
I've worn shoes every week here.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh. Let
You
me see.
haters don't notice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those are hey dudes.
Thank you very much.
Anybody with a foot fetish, please. Anybody with a foot fetish, come to the front row.
Is there any news to do, Delgado?
Why,
Bunch of
yes.
flip-flop of phones. That's what they are. Flip-flop of
People want to hear
phones.
news.
Why, yes, there is, Damon. I'm so glad you asked me that. It's a surprising question because there's tons of news. I think I'll kick it off with your favorite bit of news. It's called a poll because Damon loves the polls. So why don't we go to it? What? He's always talking about polls.
Yeah.
He just read one earlier. Yeah. Well, turns out there's a new poll out, and you're going to enjoy this one because it's one of our favorites. Harry Enton from CNN says that most Americans, believe it or not, agree with President Trump. Again, this time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
About higher education. They believe that higher education has a serious problem, pointing to a steep decline in public confidence and growing concerns. And here is Harry going a little crazy with his poll. Cut number 7. Check this out as he talks about the poll regarding colleges and President Trump. Cut 7. Check this out.
I think going into this, I think a lot of Americans thought that
Watch his
higher ed
foot.
needed a nice kick in the rear end. What am I
kick in the
talking
rear?
about here? Well, why don't we take a look at high confidence in higher education? You go back a decade ago, 57% of Americans had high confidence in higher education. Look at where we are now. That number has plummeted as of last year down to 36%. We're talking about a 36-point drop among Republicans specifically. Get this, 68% of Americans said that higher education was on the wrong track. You know, do colleges have a liberal bias? I think that's really the question here. And what we see in polling after polling after polling is that the plurality say yes. Overall, look at that, 45% of Americans overall agree with the idea that colleges have a liberal bias. Just 24% disagree with that idea. Look among Republicans. Hello, 67% of Republicans agree that colleges have a liberal bias. This is why Donald Trump is
I think I just got
so
monkeypox.
emphatic and so wanting to take on this fight, because he knows that Republicans hate universities, hate the administrations, believe they have a liberal bias, and in fact the plurality of Americans overall agree with the idea, agree with Donald Trump, that colleges are in fact a place where bias reigns.
Yes. So
Hello.
hello, Damon. What? That's a poll.
Okay.
How is it a mystery, though? They're allowing people
I know.
to protest.
In other news, water is wet. I mean, exactly.
They're protesting in favor of terrorists, that murdered all those people in Israel, and we're wondering how they're polling like this. You know, they're surprised to see a poll like this. Like, yeah, it's left-leaning. Yeah, they're marching for terrorists who would, by the way, kill them all
Last study
if
had-
they were in their country.
The last study had 1 in 13 professors were conservatives. 1 in 13.
Wow.
You know, how could there be 24% people say there is not a left-leaning bias in colleges?
Well, even that's shocking.
My kid went to New Paltz to be a communist. You know, like, what did I do there? You know, just calls me comrade.
Here's Mao's book. Have a good time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
How'd that guy get a job impersonating Richard Simmons? That's what I want to know.
Or Ethel
We love
Merman.
Harry Enton. You leave Harry Enton.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a treasure.
We don't know how he still has a job with CNN, but that's another story.
I love that guy.
President
He's
Trump,
phenomenal.
I think just today, President Trump talking about Harvard again said, I don't think Harvard's been acting very nicely.
Yeah.
He said Harvard's trying to be a big shot, and every 3 days, all we find is another $100 million that was given to him. The money's given to him like gravy. He says, I want the money to go to trade schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
That's right.
with that endowment, why are they getting any money anyhow?
That's it.
Why is our taxpayer money going there anyhow?
Right.
Right.
It's absolutely outrageous. There's no reason for it.
That's become a big discussion, you know. It was on CNBC today, and I tried to get a clip of it. I couldn't
And it's
get it in
tax
time.
exempt.
It's tax exempt, and they have these huge endowments, about $500 billion when you take the top 100 colleges. And here's a move, and they were talking about it today. Should we be taxing that? And I talked about it last night just before we went off, and boom, the next day it's on CNBC, and they're like, yeah, maybe we should be taxing the endowments and using that money, one, to control them a little bit so there's not that much bias, and two, let's offset some of these university costs and some of the debt that we have around there.
You know, we have a university we're talking about here that
Yeah.
had an office for Jeff Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein's
Yeah.
got an office
At Harvard.
In Harvard.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, we trust this
Yeah.
institution with
Did
our
it have a
children.
waterbed?
Right.
I believe it had a waterbed.
And a disco
Terrible.
ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a poison
And
Ivy
chloroform.
League school.
They're
Poison Ivy.
disgraceful. They're just a disgraceful bunch.
They are.
Yeah, the polling revealing, of course, the significant concerns. And as you mentioned, Damon, it's almost like a daily thing we see between Trump going after Harvard. Now, there's a rumor, and I think it's already been debunked. That's the great thing about the social media these days, that Trump is only going after Harvard because they denied Barron Trump's entrance.
Oh, come on.
Which
Of course.
they already shot that down as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Barron. Too many homonazis here.
Right.
We don't really have room.
Yeah.
Too many Hitler youth.
Right, exactly. So, you know, again, another example of the left not really understanding what's going on out here in terms of these 80-20 issues. And again, with higher education, we see it time and again. And where do they get that money? Where are they getting that money for those loans? From us, the American people. Because let's face it, the banks were smart enough. They got out of the loan business about 15 years ago.
Yep.
And now it's all coming from the federal government.
We guarantee them.
Yeah.
Do you see those commencement speeches, by the way, that happened all over universities?
Oh, yeah. They hate everything about this country.
They're like, we're under attack. They have this narrative of like, all these students are under attack, beware. That's how disconnected they are.
Yeah.
And these people are speaking at commencement speakers. Talk about, disingenuous, wrong way to go, brainwashing.
Speaking of disingenuous, did you see your guy Jamie Dimon today from Chase Bank?
Oh, don't
Yeah.
get me wound up on Chase
all of a
Bank.
sudden, Jamie Dimon's interested in things that he's railed against for like 20 years. All of a sudden, he's interested in the country getting its house together and making sure immigration and all of it. And I'm like, wait, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Is he going to reinstate my bank
Yeah,
account?
I saw it, and he's like, or else we won't have a country. He almost sounds like a normal person. It's the craziest thing because
like,
about
where'd
a
the
year
other
ago,
guy go?
yeah, about a year ago, he was a complete lunatic.
Yeah.
Thinking about he's going to run for president because Donald Trump is crazy.
You know what? I got debanked
Yeah.
by Chase.
So did I.
Since 1984, I had an account, and I got debanked, and we think it's because, all this going on here with the show and
Well,
all
what do
this
you mean we
kind of stuff.
think? What else could it have been?
We know.
Well,
It was Charlie.
I
They
don't wanna
chased your business away.
talk about my dealings in Istanbul. But I think outside of that, no, it had to be because of this. And Jamie Dimon's out. I know Jamie probably didn't have anything to do with that, but what's the name of that bank?
Old Glory
Old
Bank.
Glory.
Old Glory Bank. So, full transparency, they sponsor my radio show, which is on 103.9 FM.
You have a radio show?
I did 103.9 FM, 9 to 11.
Is that a new show? I had no idea you were on the radio.
Yeah.
This
and,
is
but
crazy.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
They love the country, the Constitution, the flag, family.
That's
They're
right.
on our side. And that's so. I mean, if you've heard my show, there's not a lot of room for communists on the show. You have to be a diehard Constitution-loving American, and that's what Old Glory Bank is. And so I want you to jump on with us.
I'm transferring all of my lira. I got like 100,000 lira. It's worth about $4 right now. I'm transferring every penny into Old Glory.
He got it on a Perillo cruise.
Hey, pays for a lot of Perillo cruises.
All right. Speaking of higher education, one of the best things to come out of higher education came out of Duke. Why do I say Duke? Because his name is Stephen Miller. And I don't know if you
Love
enjoy
that
watching
guy.
Stephen Miller as much as I do.
Definitely.
But today he was on CNN smashing Pam Brown in the face with the way she was trying to phrase questions. Because it's always about the language. We talked about this. They're always trying to parse the language and present things a certain way.
They frame it.
And Stephen Miller does not let her get away with it. Cut number 6. Check this out.
Undocumented migrant sent a letter threatening to kill the president, promising to self-deport after the assassination. CNN reporting shows that investigators believe the migrant was set up. It was a victim of a setup. What is the administration going to do now? And this is an undocumented immigrant. I do want to note that, but this was someone who came forward, was a victim of a crime, and now law enforcement believes he was set up. Go ahead.
Well, I want to clarify what you mean, so we're talking about the same thing. Are you saying this immigrant was here illegally?
Yes, but I am, and that's why I said that. I clarified
Well,
that.
you said undocumented, and I wasn't clear what that means. I'm assuming they have a fake ID. I'm assuming they have a fake social security number.
That's neither here nor there. That's getting away from the question, Stephen. I want this to be, and call me naive, a good faith discussion about what's happening right now.
But when we use language that's designed to obscure the truth, that's not good faith.
Exactly.
An illegal alien is an illegal alien. They're not an undocumented migrant.
Okay, that's fine. That's another discussion for another day.
I don't know the details of the assassination threat. All I can say, based on what you're telling me, is there's an illegal alien in our country who's making menacing threats. Regardless of the facts or circumstances, we don't want him here. We're going to get to the bottom of it, and I would gladly come back on when I have more information to share
They were
with you.
set up, just to be clear. But quickly,
So
where
you're
is
saying
the White House
illegal
on
alien was
habeas
treated
corpus?
unfairly? Yes, I'm sure the illegal alien was treated very unfairly.
Where?
Just get the chalk out and put a chalk.
And again,
Put a chalk line around her, man. She's dead.
One of the best things to come out of higher education is Stephen Miller.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad
You have it
that
right.
he is out there. And again, it's the way they try. They try and couch the question with, oh well, it was undocumented and he was set up. Like that's going to give you a chance to step back and be like, well, I guess I can't be honest. It doesn't stop Stephen Miller from being honest. So.
It was a bad day for CNN on air.
Yeah.
We'll get to another reason why when we get back. Live from Studio 6B on a Friday night right after this.
Wait, you didn't bring me any soppressata. What the hell's going on? This is it. That's a whole show in itself. That's a whole show in itself.
Well, I just saw this. Alex.
Big cheerleader for the show.
I was just going through the vest. I used to wear my shirt.
Yeah, that's it. Bring the show back. You're regular. You're national. You're going national.
So she'll have everything. I wish we could stream direct too. I know. It's nice to watch his children. Make a phone call and see. Not as fun.
All right.
You good?
Let me get up on Facebook here.
Or you can say his
That's fine. Did you, as long as
I wouldn't know that.
as long as the language rules are. Yes, this young lady's going to do it, and Paula says she's not going to do it, but I think Paula will eventually. Come on, she's ignoring me.
Paula will do it. We'll drag her up.
Paula. Ignoring me. Yeah. I'm like a ghost. Did I die? I feel like that guy in.
Yes.
His ring falls out. What movie is that, Vin?
What, Weekend at Bernie's?
No, where
Weekend at Gurney's.
he
The
doesn't
Joe
know he's a
Biden story?
ghost.
Weekend at Bernie's? Yes.
The guy who doesn't know he died.
Oh, Patriot. Oh,
Nope, the one after that. It was Bruce. Yes,
Sixth
Bruce
Sense.
Willis. What movie is that?
Bruce Willis.
The Sixth Sense.
Die Hard.
He's a yeah. Sixth Sense. Yeah, baby. We are back at the America First Warehouse. Give it up for the America First Warehouse. The most patriotic venue in the galaxy. We're here with Rocker Mike. He's got something that is steaming his clams, and we're about to find out. Rocker Mike, what's going on?
I'm real annoyed with the judges in this country.
Oh, tell us why you're annoyed with the judges.
Because they're just, they're acting illegally. They're not representing the Constitution. They're not, they're going after Trump. They know they can't win. It's all about just delay to get the Supreme Court to act, and things get delayed. They're just trying to stop them, and it's just not right.
Wait, you mean you didn't vote for 600 plus judges to run this country for us?
That's a judicial tyranny.
It is judicial tyranny. I like that. I think you're 1,000% right. I don't think Trump can order a pizza without some judge going, no, you're going to go Sicilian on that. We've just canceled that. You're going Sicilian. You're not going regular. What needs to happen, Rocker Mike?
Got to start impeaching these people.
Throw them out? Kick them to the coib?
They don't care. They're just going to keep doing this until they're made examples of. The Supreme Court can hear all these things, but it just takes time. And before you know it, Trump will, the term will be over and things aren't getting done. This has to stop.
Rocker Mike, if I asked you, could you define what a woman is?
Yes.
You know what? You're smarter than at least one of our Supreme Court justices. Let's hear it for Rocker Mike. Let's take it back to Big D and the boys live from Studio 6B.
All right, Kevin Downey Jr., thank you very much on a Friday night, America First Warehouse. To the point on the judges, you know what's really interesting? I was listening to Levin tonight driving in here, and Levin makes the point that we're all asking the wrong question, and the question shouldn't be necessarily about the courts. Someone's got to start asking, instead of like the decision making, the question is, what is giving what is the court? Who's giving the courts the power to think they could even be stepping into these things? There's nothing in the Constitution. There's nothing in the Federalist Papers. There's nothing in any of the ratification notes on the ratification of the Constitution that talks about judicial review, that talks about lower court. There are no such thing. Congress is the creation of those lower courts. So when it comes to even like the tariffs, he says that court had no business to even take it up. Never mind what the ruling was. We're all complaining about the ruling. The court should have said, not our jurisdiction, go to Congress. This is for Congress to decide, not for us to decide. And no one is talking about that angle of it. He says, stop talking about the decision. Talk about the fact that they don't even have jurisdiction to even be involved in the game here.
Yeah.
This is between Congress and the president. Congress can be the one to step in and say, no, tariffs are left to us. But Congress has not stepped in. They have made no move whatsoever to try to stop the president. The courts are so far out of bounds, he argues. Who's giving them the power to even say they should be involved with this, that they should even take this on?
They're not being given any power. This is textbook DNC. Textbook. They get the memo out to the media. They all have the same talking points. It's the same thing here. What they know how to do really well, and I have to say, they're good at this in terms of this nonsense they prove, is narrative. There's no legal jurisdiction. There's no real basis of what these judges are doing. It's all about narrative, and it's getting it out. And I would not be surprised if we looked at all their phones and their emails. They got emails from the DNC about, okay, folks, you need to step up here, you need to file here. Doesn't matter what the judges, none of it matters, frankly. This is why the country is in so much trouble.
Well,
nothing mattered.
The other point is, he said, Chief Justice Roberts the other day said the Supreme Court's the final say. And he said he feels that could be argued as well. Where does it say that you're the final say? It doesn't say in any of the documents that I read, that I've studied my whole life, he says.
Yeah.
And, he says, and by the way, he says, if the Supreme Court does not stop what these lower courts are doing, I'm going to quickly start to lead a movement to pressure Congress to remake the lower courts. Now remember, this is somebody who's a constitutional attorney, has studied it all his life.
Yeah.
His first book was entitled Men in Black, about the Supreme Court. He says, it'll take time, but it must be done. And under our Constitution, we have every right as the people of this country to press our elected representatives to uphold the Constitution and give us our republic back. The lower courts are violating separation of powers, seizing authority that they do not have, and have become populated with rogue lawyers and activists. The Constitution empowers we, the people, and through us, our representatives, to fix it. We helped launch Convention to State movement here, and we will bring millions together to address this. Again, it won't happen overnight. But if this continues, it will happen. After all, it really isn't about the president. It's about the republic. It's about us. It's about the Constitution.
Damon, I think you answered the question when you said who's given them this power. It was Congress. Congress gives them this power by not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's the whole game. If we don't do anything, well then nobody can stop it, right? Because actually Congress has the authority, according to Levin, to remake this or to put these judges and these courts in their place, but they don't want to do it. Why? Because this is what they want too. So that's why they're allowing it to happen. And if they leave it alone long enough, it'll get codified in the fact that, down the road they can look back and be like, oh, well, we have a court precedent now. We have a precedent. Of course, it was handled in this case, and nobody ever fought it. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for that to become the norm because, as we've seen with Congress, they don't like to do anything. Oh, you got to pass a law for this. We're going to look at it. We're going to do a study on it. We're going to talk about it. And then they never do it.
Let me ask you, Mr. Delgado. Tim Burchett, a rep from Tennessee. I love this guy.
I love this guy, too.
He said every time you see a Republican not doing what a Republican should do, either they've got pictures of that person or, as we would say in New York, he took the envelope.
Yep.
You know what that means? He took the envelope. Hey,
he took his bag. Absolutely. I got my bag.
Yeah. So what do you think's going? Are there that many on the take?
I think that's a fair amount of them that probably are compromised. But then again, there's a bunch that are, and I'm saying Congress. I'm not saying Republican or Democrat because they're both probably one and the same. You got a bunch
Without
of
a doubt.
Republicans who they're Republican in name only.
Yeah,
They're really
let's,
Democrats.
Let's call them rhinos.
Right.
Let's not call them Republicans.
Or just call them Democrats
Yeah,
at
right.
this point.
Yeah, because those are the traitors to me. They're
Right.
worse than the Democrats because they're supposed to be doing something. They're
Right.
the traitors. in
They're
my
like
opinion.
dirty cops. We're on your
They-
side.
Yeah, exactly right.
Democrats too good for them.
So, and it's not just dirty pictures or compromise. There's so many bad dealings at every level. So any one bad dealing can upend your career. And these guys are constantly out there panhandling for money. So anytime that gravy train stops, it doesn't matter what level of corruption you're at. They come in good intention, Vin, right? Would you agree with that? And once they get in there, they know who to play ball with. They know how to make the money. They know how to get funding. And that's it. Once they get there, they're staying there because that's a really sweet job if you make hundreds of thousands of dollars every month through all kinds of side deals. They're not giving it up,
Look,
and they
go
don't
fund
care
an
about the
NGO.
American people at all.
What did Elon Musk say? They put money into an NGO internationally. They wire it around. It comes through the back door, and they all make all this
Right.
money.
And their families end up running all these NGOs. Of course, they got the cousins on the take. They got the wife owns this company.
And that's what
where
all that green energy was.
Exactly.
They found one,
Oh, my
save the wombats. I just raised $300 million saving wombats. And meanwhile, every dollar went into their pocket. It's a joke.
The Stacey Abrams thing was
a fly-by-night
probably the
company.
most egregious
Yeah.
because she had $100
$2
in that bank account, and then she had $20 billion.
$20 billion.
$100 to $20 billion. I mean, the corruption is so damn obvious that, and the fact that we can't do anything about it, other than Elon Musk.
Meanwhile, it
love this
essentially
guy.
ran him out because nobody, as he said, nobody's serious about the budget. Nobody cares. What's up?
No, just Slick's masterpiece just went over most people's heads.
Flew right
but
through the room.
That's all right. I heard it. So we'll wrap hour one on that. We'll be back. We'll do some sports with Slick, other news as well. Hour two from the America First Warehouse. Coming back right after this, live from Studio 6B.
The Wombat. Those are fly-by-night companies.
Wow. You have a gift for that sort of thing, man.
They stole anything that was valuable.
They had to come back and grab it. They stole dishes.
They stole dishes. They stole artwork off the wall. Sickos. Crazy. I know.
Those are good things to talk about.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Term limits for sure. We need term limits. That's what VJ's talking about on Facebook.
It's such a disappointment.
Term limits is one piece of it, but
such a disappointment.
to
That's
cut out
what really
corruption,
drives
people
me
need to go to
crazy,
jail.
'cause,
You need to start arresting
Specific
people.
headlines you want to get to? You want to just keep doing what we're doing?
Let's just do what we're doing. But I got to be honest with you. That DIA, the Department of Interior,
The what?
the Defense, what was the Defense Intelligence Agency? He had the espionage charge against him. I thought that was. Did you see that story? Trump derangement syndrome, 28 years old. Well, we don't have to do it, but I'll keep riffing all night. I'm good.
I want to get to this video too, but I want to try to get to Vince, but then I got to get to Kevin. I want to get to Paul. So just give me some, or just give me some.
Hey, Dave.
I don't need any more reading. Yeah, just give me that.
We can just do whatever's going on.
This video while we're in sports too. This girl, this masterclass of this girl on CNN today.
Just the things that, like you see how like the media keeps, you know, who Glenn Greenwald is.
Yeah.
You see he's getting blackmailed.
Yeah.
You know, again, like, but he steered right into it. He
Did
didn't.
you see the videos?
No, horrifying. He said, I don't care.
Yeah,
My husband died. I don't give a shit who thinks what of me.
Right.
Doesn't mean I'm not a good reporter.
Right.
I like the way he steered into it.
I agree. It's pretty whack.
I heard he was dancing around in a...
Just go to X and you can just go search for my Greenwald videos through there.
What'd
No
you say?
thanks.
What was the line that I missed?
I'll just...
Oh, so he was talking about.
I don't need to see that.
And you know how these guys think they create these.
I'm
companies,
squeamish.
The wombats. I said, yeah, the fly-by.
But again, though, this is a guy... He was a Democratic champion,
You totally
and
got
now
it, yeah.
he's public enemy number one because he brings
No,
straight...
no.
And I follow him as my liberal follow.
But you're magic with that.
I try to get a
You
little
are.
bit of...
All right, hour two, live from Studio 6B at the America First Warehouse on a Friday night. Real America's Voice and across the airways of 103.9 LI News Radio. Of course, streaming everywhere, including Truth Social, where you can watch Real America's Voice 24/7 all day long. The entire lineup, of course, right in the morning from the morning shows, obviously through Steve Bannon, through Charlie Kirk, Jack Posobiec, John Solomon, the great John Solomon, Just the News, of course, obviously right through us. All day, Truth Social, Real America's Voice. Make sure you check it out, and you check us all on all our socials at LFS6B, pretty much everywhere, including Truth Social at LFS6B. Vinnie Mac is here. Slick Rick Delgado, Kevin Downey Jr., Paul Newland. We got a lot of news coming up in hour two, but right now let's throw it over to our own KDJ, who's here with another Patriot at the America First Warehouse. KDJ, take it away.
Thank you, Big D. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Big D. Yeah, clap. We're here with Patriot Jeannie. She's got something, you know what? We try to be as funny as we can on this show. Sometimes the things aren't funny we talk about, and Jeannie's got something that you need to hear about, and she's got a question for the boys. So, Jeannie, what's on your mind?
Well, having lost my son 3 years ago to fentanyl poisoning, it's near and dear to my heart. And I know that there was a lot of reasons why we all voted Trump in, is to close the border, and that's part of the problem. I mean, part of the solution, I should say. But I want to encourage everybody to kind of get involved locally, because there is an organization that's running on September 20th all over the United States, and I'm hoping to do something for Long Island because I don't want to go to Brooklyn. But it's getting the local communities involved, churches, counselors, everything, because we can't wait for government to fix this. We have to fix it in our own communities.
Yep, and you know what? Can I just, Jeannie, I'll tell you, I write about this a lot at pjmedia.com, and what's going on is the Chinese were flooding the border, making billions of dollars because, well, they own Joe Biden, so they said leave the borders open. We want to basically kill as many Americans as we can and make billions of dollars doing it. Trump has told them, he raised the tariffs, and then he left 30% on. He said, I'm not taking this off until you get your filthy fentanyl out of our country. And now your question for the boys is, what's next, right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been following that because I'm focused on trying to do things locally.
Right.
Because I feel that that's the worst thing that could ever happen to a parent.
Absolutely. Big D, you want to take it from here to run around with the boys, see what they got to say?
Yeah,
Let's hear it for Patriot Jeannie, folks.
First of all our thoughts, and we're sorry for Jeannie's story. It's terrible. But I think I started to make the point last night. This is what makes the courts, this New York court, so egregious in this stepping into this on the tariffs to make it all about a financial thing. Where, and I said last night, a big part of what Trump is doing with the tariffs is using it as almost as a weapon to say, no, until you clean this up and get this out of here, we're going to punish you for this kind of behavior. The court took no consideration of that whatsoever. At least they didn't in their ruling. But that's a big part of what he's doing with them.
Yeah, he's taken an action that it could be meaningful to cut this back. And Jeannie, I can tell you, I have personal experience with this, and I know a lot of people that have lost their children to a similar thing. And when well, not just fentanyl, but drugs in general, and then even illegals here who are criminals that wind up taking lives. Life is hard. Okay, it's hard to avoid catastrophe in life for your friends and your family. We go through it, all of us, all the time, and we find our way through life, and sometimes things happen that aren't that pleasant. But why do we have to be exposed to things that arbitrarily are going to hurt us and kill us, like fentanyl and like illegal criminals that are raping and murdering people? And to peel it back and understand that the reason for it is a deliberate attempt by our government to open borders and allow the drugs in and allow these illegal criminals in. That's probably the most appalling thing I could ever see in my lifetime, when our government is actually doing this, intentionally. Trump has obviously reversed that, but that is the sad part. And it's great to see Donald Trump not only taking action here, he's being fought every step of the way with the illegals and fentanyl, but he's making people pay the price. But the needless loss of life is really where I'm going with this. And there's no reason anybody, your child or anybody else's child, should be a victim of any of this stuff, because it just shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Yeah.
Go. I was just going to say, the part that really steams my clams is these communist representatives going down to El Salvador to say, I want to see my constituent.
Exactly.
Kilmar Abrego, the human trafficker from MS-13. He's my guy. They're fighting to keep this here. They're not even allowing it. They're fighting to maintain it.
It's shocking. It should shock everybody. I can't imagine anybody supporting the Democratic Party after what we just witnessed.
Well, you know what it is? I think part of it, too, when you talk about China and you talk about the illegal drugs, it's because how many of these Congress people, and again, both sides, I'm not picking sides here, are actually bought off by these guys, by the Chinese, by other countries, saying, hey, remember that thing I did for you? Now that favor is due. And this is part of that favor. You got to pay off.
You know what, Rick? I agree. And see, here's the thing that really kills me. Local politicians will vote this way and they'll have their driveway done or something stupid. This is killing people.
Yeah.
And this is fentanyl doesn't show up always as fentanyl. Sometimes it looks like Adderall. And
it's in everything.
Fentanyl's hidden.
Xanax.
It's hidden. You don't know it's there.
They don't know it.
Right. It could be tainted on something else could be tainted by it.
Yep.
And what's the number one demographic, right? Young men. Young military-aged men.
Yes.
So just wipe out the male population while they're at it, too. So it's like their response to the old opium wars. They have not a care to give, and the politicians get rich off it. It's sickening.
If you don't think China has been our enemy, with the cyber stuff they're doing, with flooding drugs into our country and everything else that they've done, this is fortunately we have an economic power over them because we're the market. But this is a real enemy that's killing us and hurting us in ways that we are so untraditional. Yeah. And Trump knows this, but we also got to play ball with them a little bit too. So it's a very, very sad situation.
Yeah, well, this version of modern-day mercantilism has to end. I mean,
absolutely,
it just can't last, can't sustain it. And the tariff war continues. I don't know if you saw the headlines. You have this where, Trump is accusing China. What do? They broke the deal right out of the gate.
Right.
Now, of course, China and now New York Times and all the CIA mouthpieces, they're all saying, "Oh, well, China's saying we did it first," which is. Again, whose side is the mainstream media on? They can't be trusted. What was the story? It was 2 years ago we saw that the Chinese government was paying the New York Times almost $30 million a year to pump in fake stories about how great China is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, I mean, they've webbed is so deep all the way through Hollywood, changing storylines because they're financing movies. It's an endless, slow-cook infomercial that China's the good guy.
They've bribed the world.
They just slowly bake your brain into believing that they're not our enemy.
Well, I mean, Joe Biden running for president said that many times, right? They're not our enemy, folks. They're good folks.
They're good
Remember all that
folks,
stuff?
yeah.
All right, 8 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports quickly. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster's got it. What's going on?
All right, BD, I got to read a super chat. I normally don't do that from the YouTube, but This is a good one. Michael Robertson Sr., $150.
Wow.
He says, get around for the group at America's Warehouse and some pizza for the fat boys I watch every night. Good show, boys. Thank you, Michael Robertson Sr.,
Let's see.
man. My man. There you go.
I think he's talking about.
I resemble that fact.
He must have heard me complaining earlier.
Guilty.
Yeah, resemble.
Yeah,
All right, real quick,
call
Big
her
D. I
next
know
to
we,
that,
This side of the stage just collapses.
we got a lot to get to. I'm just going to rip up some scores here. Here we go. The Memorial Tournament presented by Workday Men's Golf, Muirfield Golf Club, Dublin, Ohio. Today's leader was Nick Taylor, shot a 7 under along with Ben Griffin, and your buddy Scotty Scheffler. He's in third. Big D shot 4 under for 2 days. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll have a full recap Monday night with the golf. And Major League Baseball, Brewers 6-2 over the Phillies, top of the 9th. Bottom 6, we got the Blue Jays over the A's 9-5. Angels blanking the Guardians 3-0, middle 7th. Top 8, Mets over the Rockies 3-2. Mets playing good right now. Giants 2-0 over the Marlins, bottom 7. Bottom 6, Red Sox lead the Braves 3-1. Rangers over the Cardinals 5-0, middle of the 4th. Top of the 4th, Tigers over the Royals 4-3. And the Tampa Rays are blanking the Astros 1-0, bottom of the 6th. Finals from earlier today, my Reds won 6-2 over the Cubs in Wrigley. Good win there. Orioles over the White Sox 2-1. And 9:40, we got the Pirates and Padres, then the Nationals and Diamondbacks. Twins taking on the Mariners at 10-10. And, of course, your Yankees taking on the Dodgers. That's like old school World Series baseball, right?
Yeah.
Yankees and Dodgers. Where's Brooklyn at? Okay, 10-10, first pitch. That's a wrap in sports. Big D, back
All right,
to you.
Slick, very good. Elon Musk was in the White House today for a little kind of send-off of President Trump. And, Vin, I know you had some thoughts on Elon you wanted to get to.
Yeah, I do. It's more commentary because we all have seen what a great thing this guy has done. You know, there's a time in history where real heroes emerge, and here's the wealthiest guy in the world, one of the most innovative, smart guys in the world, who simply loves our country. It's pretty simple. You know, when you put it down into brass tacks. Here's what I learned about Elon, by the way, as he's done the things he's doing with Doge. I've learned he has a lot of integrity because I see the way he speaks, and it's from the heart, and it's true. He has character. He has honesty. He says things that just simply are factual and true, and he loves our country. And I think this is something that if we can all pull together and just honor this guy and celebrate the fact that he went in and did something and attempted to try and finish a job here that we have dreamt of doing for decades, which is cleaning up the corruption, cleaning up all the self-dealing, cleaning up all of these things. To me, out of all the things that Trump is doing, and man, he is tackling so many things, this is probably one of the most important things overall because this is the trust that I keep talking about. We've lost trust in everything. Elon goes in, and what do? They turn on him and they try and turn his companies, into the worst things they possibly can. He's recovered. He's going to rise above that. I also I looked up his charitable donations and what he does. He gave $5.7 billion from his Tesla stock into a nonprofit, and he funds things all over the place. But I really wanted to send a message tonight, and that message is, this guy is a hero. This guy should be, applauded on a regular basis. Yeah. When it's easy to do, when politicians say things, they're usually easy to do. This was not easy to do. This bucked every system we have in our country. Everybody with their hands out, every corrupt thing, everything you could imagine, the worst wall of fire, this guy bucked it all. If it were easy, we would have gotten this done. It takes a guy like this. It takes someone with this level, not only of integrity, but love for our country. Why do he and Trump get along so well? They both love our country.
Yes.
It's like what we've seen for the last 4 years, and even going back to Obama and everybody else, they don't really love our country. They resent our country. They don't like our country. He came from South Africa. He saw what the world is like. And he also saw, we're in trouble. I want to help.
And the thanks he got?
Thanks he got was pretty terrible, but he's getting thanks from us.
The media destroyed
That's
him.
the bottom line.
All right, live from Studio 6B. We'll get some thoughts from Paul Nolan, Kevin Downey Jr. when we get back. More sports, more news with Delgado, plus a masterclass in how to deal with snotty, pompous hosts on CNN right after this.
Yes.
second day.
Yes.
Brian
exactly.
Dennehy. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a.
I can do a lot of different things. The Godfather's one.
Wait, didn't you send me this, friend? Why can't I find it?
Good. Great show. Great show.
Thanks, dude.
Friend, didn't you send me the reads?
Yes. I'll send them again.
Why is it I can't find them? And why did I just get logged out? I hate this thing.
Chat, live in the chat.
There it is. Got it. Oh, that's why I got logged out, because it wasn't refreshed. Aha. I got it.
Let's see what's going on. We got 1350 in the Rumble chat there, Damon. Yeah. Insider myself. Charlie 3277.
Charlie?
Charlie. Not Charlie. Charlie's not talking to you.
You mean Charlie?
Susie 321. Ratchet is in there. Wheezy Cat. Two Guns 59.
Hey, Charlie.
Jethro TXK.
Did you see Wizard of Oz is 86 years old today?
Wow. That was the first color movie.
Yeah.
Did you
and
see?
And if Dorothy had met a man with no heart, no brain, she'd be in D.C.
Yeah, she'd be in D.C.
Did you see Hot Lips Houlihan passed away?
Yeah.
Really?
From MASH?
Yeah.
Hot Lips Houlihan. What a name.
Colonel Penobscot.
Hey, man.
YouTube. The YouTube chats. What do we got going in there? Oh, let's see here. Yep, Slick read that one. Again, man, Michael Robertson, Sr. Whew. Much appreciated. Ron and Norma Klein also in the YouTube chat with a $4.99 super chat.
Vin, did you ever get food? Sound like the blues on a Friday night from the America First Warehouse. Let me talk to you about our friends Birch Gold. This July, there's a global summit of BRICS nations in Rio de Janeiro. The bloc of emerging superpowers, including China, Russia, India, and Iran, are meeting with the goal of displacing the U.S. dollar as the global currency. They're calling this the Rio Reset. As BRICS nations push forward with their plans, global demand for U.S. dollars will decrease, bringing down the value of the dollars in your savings. While this transition won't happen overnight, the Rio Reset in July marks a pivotal moment when BRICS objectives move decisively from theoretical possibility towards inevitable reality. Well, it's time to learn if diversifying your savings into gold might be right for you. Birch Gold Group can help you move your hard-earned savings into a tax-sheltered IRA in precious metals. Claim your free information kit on gold by texting the word America. Send it to 989898. Text the word America, send it to 989898. Birch Gold has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Tens of thousands of happy customers. Let Birch Gold arm you with a free, no-obligation information kit on owning gold before July and before the Rio Reset. Text the word America, send it to 989898, and do it today. Well, you know, tax day may have passed, but for millions of Americans, the real trouble is just beginning. If you missed the April 15th deadline or you still owe back taxes, the IRS is ramping up enforcement. Every day you wait only makes things worse. With over 5,000 new tax liens filed daily in tools like property seizure, bank levies, wage garnishments, the IRS is applying pressure at levels we haven't seen in years. Increased administrative scrutiny means collections are moving fast. The good news, there's still time for Tax Network USA to help. Self-employed or a business owner, even if your books are a mess, they've got you covered. Tax Network USA specializes in cleaning up financial chaos and getting you back on track fast. Even after the deadline, it's not too late to regain control. Your consultation is completely free. Acting now could stop penalties, threatening letters, and surprise levies before they escalate. Call 1-800-905-8000, 1-800-905-8000, or visit tnusa.com/RAV, tnusa.com/RAV. If you missed the April 15th, you haven't run out of options. Let Tax Network USA help before the IRS makes the next move. Go to tnusa.com/RAV. All right, 19 past the hour, live from Studio 6B, live at the America First Warehouse on a Friday night. The boys are all here. We'll get to some more news and sports. But right now, let's get it over to Kevin Downey Jr., who's with another Patriot here at the America First Warehouse. Mr. Downey Jr., how are you?
Thank you, Big D.
Woo.
Folks, I am here with Patriot Alexandra, not Alexandria, right? Who needs that extra I? You're not a Cyclops.
Correct.
Right. Alexandria. Who needs those? They're a bunch of hooahs. We don't like the Alexandra with an I. Oh, I'm fancy.
You are so
fancy. Folks, Patriot Alexandra. Alex, can we call you Alex? Patriot Alex here has something she wants to throw at the boys on the stage.
Oh, boy.
Alex, what's on your mind?
Bring it.
So I wrote this because I wanted to be prepared. 2 years ago, I gave a passionate speech at a 3-hour school board meeting in the Port Jefferson area on Long Island, speaking on behalf of all the children of America who have zero business doing anything but being children. It was regarding a trash so-called teacher whose indoctrinated idiocy affected a 9-year young female student so deeply that the munchkin began having suicidal thoughts, and her parents filed a lawsuit against the school district. This was national news, and I'm glad to have recently learned that the teacher, who was tenured, has since been forced to retire.
Wait, Alex, let me jump in. What was this animal doing to make a child want to kill themselves?
She had told the little girl to pretend being a boy and to start using, quote, male pronouns, which don't get me started as a grammarian, that irks me to no end. And
My pronouns are Smith and Wesson. Just for the left. Just for the left.
my understanding is your pronouns are former liberal, right? So
I was a former liberal. Now it's Smith and Wesson.
I'm sorry.
Thank God I emptied my trunk out.
Wow, drop that mic.
The thing is, such situations, even though this was 2 years ago, such situations are still taking place from New York to California. Shout out to a parent who's been fighting for his parental rights there in the Pasadena area. I'd like you all to know about him for 3+ years. His name is Adam Vena, V-E-N-A, whose former girlfriend trans their little boy Aiden, and he hasn't had any access to him since.
Whoa, how old was Aiden?
Aiden was, I want to say, 3 years old at the time. This was in 2021.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a young munchkin.
And you know what? Let's cut to the boys. Gentlemen, do you think this is still happening in the schools? Or would we be stupid to think it's over?
Yeah, it's probably. I think it's probably happening all over. It's happening on every level of education. Education's been taken over in this country, right? I mean, we're talking about Harvard and focusing on colleges, but we know what's going on in the public school system around here too. Government-run schools, right? And I mean, President Trump today was addressing charter schools and other things that obviously the Dems are totally against. I think it's probably happening at all levels of schooling. We know it's happening. Look at the case that's going on right now. The kid wearing their only two gender shirt. Look what happened in that case.
It's insanity.
We're living in a world of insanity. That's exactly right.
And what's crazy is that Alexandria, I remember that case because that's right where I live, in that area. And I remember that teacher. I think it was Rosenquist.
I would like to say her name. You told me she shouldn't.
I told her you probably shouldn't.
Well, it's in the news.
All right.
It was in the New York Post, so I'm quoting the New York Post, Kevin, if you don't mind.
I was trying not to get us sued, Richard.
But the Long Island teacher forced this 5th grade student to go by male name pronouns, like she said. And I congratulate you for staying on this and getting this woman removed.
Fantastic. Great job.
Let me.
Well done.
This is a good lead-in. It's not obviously elementary school, but this is a good lead-in to the video I've been talking about here for the last hour, and that is Julie Hamill, who is the president of the California Justice Center, and she was on CNN today, and talking about this transgender debate in schools, and this one happens to be over track and field. I think it might be high school level, but this is how you deal with the media on this topic. Just watch her let the host just walk herself into embarrassment here in her body language, her face, the way she stays silent, where she talks, where she doesn't talk. I mean, this is an absolute masterclass in this. Here it is.
To comply with federal law to accept federal funds.
What would make this fair for her to compete for those who are competing against her? What would that kind of structure in competition look like?
Who is her?
AB.
Okay, AB Hernandez is a male who identifies as a female. What would be fair is to have Hernandez competing in the male category. It is not fair to the females competing to have to compete with a male.
Okay, so in Trump's federal funding threat, is that something, though, that would hurt all student athletes, including athletes who are assigned female at birth?
Would his federal funding threat hurt athletes?
If the money is taken away.
Right. So the law actually says that schools that do not abide Title IX or other federal laws cannot receive federal funds. So that's not Trump's fault. The problem is that the state with AB 1266.
But you understand, Julie, there's two views here on Title IX. So just to be clear, not everyone agrees with you on how you're viewing it. So in that regard, if you were to take away the funding on as it pertains to trans athletes, not everyone agrees with you. I think we just have to be clear about that. If you are taking away the funds for athletes, student athletes in California, isn't that going to hurt all of them?
Taking away federal funds is going to hurt all California kids, which is why the state of California needs to comply with federal law. It's very simple.
Listen, we'll save it there. We'll finish it when we get back.
Mic drop. Man, oh man.
That was great. Perfect. She's just silent, just sitting there listening, and then whack. Man, I am starving.
I saw AOC.
Me too.
I'm going to send Harry to get some.
All right.
I guess when we get off. We're going to get off anyway.
Let's do that. That's a good one.
When we get off.
When you get off.
Oh, well, I guess
Put your left foot here, your right here.
Still here.
We got 23 minutes, right?
We're going to have power.
Oh, this way?
Yeah, 23 minutes.
You like Jay or Jerry? What do you go
My
by?
name is Jay.
Jay?
It's actual Jay.
Oh, okay.
Brianna Keeler.
I just assumed it was short for Jerry.
Nope, actual Jay. Actual Jay. Yep. Yeah. Well, most people use Jason for Jay, but I'm not Jason.
He's a cheerleader up for us. I give him that. From the chamber. 25 years, baby.
Don't let me forget.
Yeah, no, let's come with that. I seen the clip.
I'll take it right out of one. Let's finish this, then we'll go into that.
He texted me. It's so funny. Yeah, we're gonna get Doug back on the show. Yeah, I know we got to get Doug back on the show. Yeah, definitely. Jesse's got to come back on. Yeah. That's 100%. We got to work on that quick, too. We got to get moving on that.
Are you ordering food?
Maybe you can wake up Garbarino, see if he wants to come.
It's here.
There's food here?
That's unbelievable. Nor should you be. But you know what really went on. Wasn't an alarm clock. Okay.
How much backlash did you get for that fight you were in? Like you obviously were in the middle of that story, or? No, we have 10 seconds.
Welcome back, Patriots, to the America First Warehouse. You're watching live from Studio 6B, and we're coming to you from the most patriotic venue in the galaxy. Let's hear it for Joe the Box, who set this up. He's our guy.
Joe the Box! Come on, Joe! Come on!
I got Patriot Jay here from the Belmore Patriots. Now, is there a group? Is there like a Valley Stream Commie Pinkos?
Yes, they are very commie over there in Valley Stream, but there's no group per se.
All right, now, oh, they're out there, all right. We chipped them, we know where they are. Jay, what's on your mind? Tell us what's going on.
Well, I want to step back to what you were discussing earlier in regards to corruption in Congress. You know, I was thinking about it while you're talking. How about AOC? I mean, she goes in there 2 years ago with approximately $20,000 in her bank account, and 2 years later, she's worth $11 million on $175,000 salary a year. That doesn't make sense.
Good investment.
Well, in Washington, D.C., it actually does. Don't get me wrong, a bartender probably selling the cocaine for a little while there. That's how she got her 20 grand. How'd she get that 10 million? Maybe a book deal? I don't know. I'm going to say it's probably pretty filthy. What do you think?
Oh, I agree with you 100%. There's no way. Otherwise, everybody would go in Congress to make that type of money in 2 years.
All right, let's see what the boys have to say. Big D, take it away. Let us know what you guys think.
All right, KDJ, very good. Thank you very much. Live from Studio 6B. Vin, you got to take on how you make $11 million in, I don't know what if it's 2 years, but...
There's a system in place.
It's a general overall thought. I don't know if specifically AOC, whatever the time that she's been there is, and obviously you get more high profile and things come your way, but it's just an overall thought that all of these people, Trump goes in a billionaire and he comes out, losing money in the deal and gives up his salary. But all of the Obamas, they all go in and then they come out multi-millionaires. They go around the world, they trash the country when the only place they could ever do what they're doing is here. But it's just an overall thought. They all go in, they all come out rich. What's the deal?
Yeah, there's a system in place. So you come in, and all of a sudden you look at this system, you're like, I can make 20 million bucks. Well, there's how you do it, and here's the system, but you can't break the system. That's ultimately what's happened here. Nobody has term limits. Everybody seems to be corrupt who's getting elected, too. We got to get a better class of people to be running for our government, which, again, is why we need the Supreme Court to straighten some of these things out so we actually have some confidence in our government. But what did Harry Truman say? Show me a politician that leaves office with more money. You know what the Romans did? The Romans actually audited their senators when they finished to see if they took money and there was corruption. They actually had it right. That's what we should be doing, is auditing every year our politicians. And when we find stuff like that, like Elon's pointing out, that's why Elon's so important, and that's why they hate him so much.
Yeah, true. All right, let's finish this. I just want to finish this because I think it was just so good. Julie Hamill on CNN with Breonna Keeler talking about this transgender in sports and this track and field. Here's the rest of that.
It's very simple.
So when you dig into the science on trans athletes, what is really clear is that there needs to be a lot more research on a lot more trans athletes to be able to draw better conclusions about the effect of whether gender-affirming care actually reduces or eliminates the advantage conferred on an athlete who is genetically male.
What is she
Would
talking
you welcome more research? Is this a situation where more research might help?
Look at her face.
Research?
I absolutely think that more research and more careful and thoughtful discussion is necessary here. Pediatric sex change procedures are very harmful and they cause lifelong damage to children. And this is something that the United States of America needs to examine thoughtfully, and people need to be able to discuss openly without being called bigots and transphobes.
Yeah, totally hear you. So there are obviously clear benefits to
Totally not
playing
prepared for
sports, to competing in sports. So when you're looking at an athlete like A.B. Hernandez, what would you have her do so that she can benefit
Correct her
from
again.
sporting?
Yeah, please correct.
Correct her again.
I view A.B. Hernandez as the victim in this situation. I feel for him, and I feel that
Good. There you
he
go.
has been lied to for his entire life, and it's probably very destabilizing and difficult for him right now to realize that what he's been told is not actually reality. He cannot become a girl. What he can do is compete in the
Julie,
male
can we stick to
category,
sport? Okay,
or
let's
if
stick to
CIF
sports. So you say compete in the male category or what?
Or if the state and CIF want to create a separate category for people like A.B. Hernandez, and that's something that they want to do, fine. It is not fair to female athletes who have worked their entire lives for this kind of competition, who also, by the way, cannot speak out for fear of retaliation, which A.B. Hernandez's mother has personally threatened against them. So it's very unfair for our girls and women in California to have to compete with males, have to share facilities with males, and then not be able to speak up about the unfairness because people are going to label them as bigots.
Julie Hamill, thank you so much for being with us.
There you go, Julie Hamill.
Man,
Wow, what a clown slapping. That was a clown slapping if I've ever seen.
I mean, that's performance of the year on one of these deals. I mean, that is how you handle someone like
Brilliant.
that.
That's
By the
brilliant.
way, can we just speak about Breonna Keeler for just a second? What's going on in these networks? Is that line of questioning absolutely insanity?
Insane.
Yeah, she's insane. Or she's been paid a lot of money to be crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we can explain thinking that way is that, well, either you're a lunatic or they paid you really good.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose this gig. I mean, let's face it. If you need to be constantly reaffirmed that you're a girl. No, honey, you're a girl. You're a girl. Anytime you need to be reaffirmed that you're a girl or a guy means you're not a girl or a guy.
Right.
You're actually the opposite. Because if you have to have people saying, oh my God, you're such a beautiful girl, when you know they're not a girl, that's part of the psychosis. That's what she was talking about, that A.B. Hernandez, this dude, is part of the victim, is a victim in all this. It's like crazy people. Crazy people don't know they're crazy. No. That's why they're crazy and they do crazy stuff.
But they're adolescents, these kids. Well, there's a reason why we wait till adolescents are a little older to let them drive, to vote, to do very basic things in life. These are young, impressionable, insecure. When I was that age, I mean, who knows? I wanted to be Evel Knievel. If there was a surgery where I could have become Evel Knievel and taken that chopper behind us and jumped a bunch of... I would have done that. Now, if I was a person that felt like, I think I identify as a girl, and my parents let that happen... I mean, as an adolescent, I don't know what I'm doing. We all have had kids. We were all adolescents at one point.
Sure.
That's what's That's what's sad about this. They're taking advantage of impressionable young kids that just want to fit in. And their way of fitting in is maybe to be an outlier because that's what's accepted. Oh, you identify as this.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Yeah,
Think about these parents, though. Like they have like this version of Munchausen syndrome. They love the attention as much as the kid needs this
100%.
identity.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Gives them a cause.
Like you see it in Hollywood, where all these Hollywood stars, I have a trans and I have this kid and I have that. It's impossible. No, you don't. You just ruined your kid. That's all it is.
I'll take a number 3 with a small coat and a trans kid, and I got a.
It's like I thought I was a girl one day a year once.
How much money would you need to be that reporter to be made such a fool of on national TV? How much money would you have to? How much would
There's
you
not enough money. Not enough for me.
to sell your soul on
Breonna
national
Keeler
TV?
she'll be celebrated by the rest of the media for trying to stand up to this awful lawyer from California.
Let's stick to the sports, right?
Cultural Marxism, though. How do they not? I mean, that woman up there, she's taking the money. Maybe she believes it. I don't know. She's either a useful idiot or she's just a commie hua who wants the cash.
It all comes down to that, doesn't it?
It's
all comes down to whores.
Would you fascism me? I'd fascism me so hard.
All right, 38 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some more news with a couple of the guys we haven't got to yet. Paul Nolan is here. What's been on your mind, Paul?
I thought I got to be honest with you. I thought the espionage story was pretty interesting today. I don't know if you saw this, but a U.S. government employee charged with trying to give classified information to a foreign government. Did you guys see this story? I thought this was slipping under the radar a little bit. Prosecutors say Nathan Vilas Lash, 28, of Alexandria, Virginia, was arrested at a location where he had arranged to deposit sensitive records to a person he thought was an official of a foreign government, but was actually an undercover FBI agent. So congratulations to the FBI. This guy's on the ground getting things done. This is where we like the FBI. The guys on the ground have been bullied around by low-life bureaucrats for way too long. So guys doing a good job here. We have to give credit when it's due. The identity of Latch, he thought he was in communication, and the Justice Department described it as a friendly or allied nation. So they're not releasing what nation it is yet, and he didn't get anything. There's really nothing was exchanged. But I'm just curious. No one has been hanged or killed for treason in this country since 1953. Do you guys feel like
we got a long list of people that should be right now?
I mean, honestly, think about how many treasonous SOBs there are. But where do you guys fall on this? Because this was clearly a person with TDS or TSD or STD, whatever they got, but something's rotten in their brain, and they hate Trump so badly that the kid said that he hates these policies and he needs to save America, and this is why he was engaging in a list of items and products he came with to essentially say, what do you want to pay me for this, that, or this? And would you say that this is the death penalty, or would you say this is treason, or would you say that life in prison? What do you guys think? Because this has to stop.
Yeah, life in prison for me, but I also think this is why they call Trump a dictator, a fascist, and Hitler, because they want this result. They want people to hate him so much and think they're going to save the country.
Exactly.
This is why they push this narrative out. Everything that the left really does is a calculated measure against, right now, MAGA and Trump. And by creating that type of anger, people do stupid stuff. Do I think this guy should be hung? I'd like to see a lot of people hung. I'd like to see Joe Biden hung for having fentanyl in here and illegals coming through. That's treason to me. This guy is dumb, and he should be in jail. End of story.
Biden has like 50 different things he could be hung for treason for, including, his all his criminal behavior all throughout Ukraine, and he's gotten away with murder. I mean, this guy's really done
real murder, fentanyl and illegals.
Legitimate murder.
He's responsible
That's
for a
real
lot of
murder.
it. That's on his hands.
Yeah, and anytime an illegal kills an American, that blood is on his hands.
Absolutely.
I'm on that train.
Yes.
So I'm not a big fan of the death penalty, to be honest. I'll just say that's probably the most popular thing to say. But this is something that makes me think we cannot have people in the government so subversive, so dangerous to national security. It's one of those things that makes me really want to rethink my position.
Yeah, you need a deterrent.
And you know what, Paul? I think the problem is you're right on everything, but we're so accustomed to arguing where that crazy guy in a dress is going to urinate. Like they're making us focus on that garbage while they're getting away with red rum.
That's true.
Yeah, they're getting away with red rum.
Take your eye off the ball.
All right, one more to go with the American First Warehouse on a Friday night. Kevin Downey Jr., Paul Nolan, Rick Delgado, Vinnie Mac. We'll do a little more sports with Slick. We'll try to get to as much as we can in the time we have left on a Friday night. We're back right after this. This is, what do you mean? This is X.
Oh. I only see it on my phone. Get one last look to Devin. Still watching. So maybe they can put me on the show.
I told you that.
Already? He's going to meet that kid. No. Last second. Diddy's going to walk. He's going to walk. There's no trafficking in any of this trial.
Chat, live in the chat.
That was a nice super chat.
Yeah.
I had to read that one.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, that was too good.
That was huge.
You
got the mic here? Maybe. Maybe.
Hot dog. Where's the hot dogs? They're buried.
Hey, if I fall back, will you catch me? Yes. Yeah? I'm not going to give you any warning. You have to watch really closely.
I'm inside your table.
I had popcorn today. I'm going back. This is a dangerous spot. Yeah. I had no idea.
All right, we'll do KDJ, we'll do Crazy Town, and then we'll do KDJ with news.
Yeah.
Let's do KDJ, we'll do Crazy Town, then we'll come back to KDJ for a little bit of whatever he's got for news. And then whatever time we have left, we'll wing it around.
Yeah, I'll probably won't get to that clip, Aaron, tonight. Yep, I got a good joke, though. I'm not getting to it. But if I get it, I'll use it. Kid,
You know what?
there's
Save-
so
save
many
it for-
people.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final segment of Live from Studio 6B at the America First Warehouse. We've got Patriot here. Paulina with an A on the end, right? Yeah. My mother's name was Pauline. I guess we're white trash. We couldn't afford that extra A. And a sister Alexandria. We couldn't afford the I either for Alexandria.
You weren't aristocrats.
So we call it callback. Paulina, tell the boys what's on your mind. This is going to steam their clams. Go.
Uh-oh.
I recently almost got kicked out of a bar by a trans woman who told me I wasn't allowed to be in the bar because I'm of the opinion that women should not be having men play in their sports or be in their locker rooms or in their women's, domestic violence groups, etc.
Now, first, I hate to correct people. That wasn't a trans woman. That was a wackadoo guy. And which tranny bar is this? I'm not asking for me. I'm asking.
Nuts
Slick
and bolts.
really wants to know.
It's
Slick,
nuts and bolts.
you can whisper in my ear. If you, all right, no? Okay, cool. So, Paulina almost kicked out for. But the thing is, though, here's the fun part. I'm going to assume gender. You're a woman.
I am a woman, actually.
And this wannabes, oh, you can't stay here because you're what I want to be. And
Something along those lines.
all right, you know what? It's sad that that's what it's come to. Let's see what the boys have to say. Let's hear it for Patriot Paulina. Great job. Thank you.
Man.
A shout out, of course.
I do want to give a shout out to the partner of the bar because he did get up and make sure I was not kicked out of the bar for no reason. So I
Okay,
do want
there
to
you go.
All right.
Nice. I was
Another Patriot. Thank you, Paulina.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask. I was just going to ask
That's
that.
some story.
This was another patron, obviously, not someone who's associated with the bar. So it sounds like
Well,
the
that's
bar.
good.
It was a tranny woman.
Yeah,
means,
sounds like the
means
bar
it started as a guy.
tried to do the right thing.
It's a tranny
Yeah.
woman. It wasn't
It's like Klinger. It's like Klinger. Think of MASH.
Okay, got it. Section 8?
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy?
You know what? I was thinking, how great would it be to be in a sport and compete against a woman? But with my luck, I'd get Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Beat the potato salad out of me.
That's it.
You and your wiener.
You know what?
You get your brisket burned.
She could have solved that problem with one word. Rochambeau. What is a Rochambeau? Challenge that person to a Rochambeau. Start off with kicking them in the nuts, and then see if they can kick you back in the nuts.
No, Delgado.
Come on, Delgado.
I mean, come on. This is a
talk about
family
low
show.
blows here.
Just make sure you go first.
Let's not be quick to judge. He might be onto something.
He likes to hit below the belt.
I mean, that's below the belt.
Come on, Delgado.
That's a little.
Come on.
What do you think? I'm nuts?
That's yeah.
Oh, he's nuts here. Come on.
That's not very ladylike of that trans dude.
KDJ hasn't had much time to do news. Let's do a
Come
little
on,
news
KD.
with KDJ. But he's been doing great interviews. So
Yes,
thank you.
But what has caught your attention in the news, KDJ? I'm almost afraid to ask. But
And no whores, no hookers, no whores, none of that.
Please.
Okay, yeah.
Or no whoas.
Who is? No, who is? Remember, they're sex workers now.
I'm sorry.
What a classification that is.
oh, God.
Apparently, I was a teenage sex worker, not a boy hooah. So this really steams my clams, big deal. Look at this.
Yeah.
So there's a spa. A spa.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. There's no happy
I
ending
know
to the
this
story.
story.
I know where this is going.
Did you get kicked out?
It's in D.C., right?
This one, no, it's out west. Believe it or not, Washington. Who knew?
Wing ding
It's
Washington.
a spa that caters to Korean Christian women. And here comes a trans Bob saying, I want to hang out, be naked with the ladies.
And the court said yes, right?
The court said yes. Now here's the sick part. The spa allows young girls up to 13 years old. And so Trans Ding Dong here wants to hang out and helicopters
to
way
hang out,
across the pool. And
It's a nude spa, is my understanding.
this is a different
And this
one.
guy said that he wants access to, right? Isn't
No,
that?
that's a different one.
That's a different
we
one.
got two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come on, stick
this
with the
is
story.
a Christian Korean spa, and of course, that's what they aim for. I mean, go to the Muslim spa. Say, yeah, I'm a girl. I want to.
Yeah, it's it. Talk about throwing in the towel.
So of course, Washington says, yeah, Trans Madingi gets to go in there. Now, I was thinking, what could go wrong? Where have we seen this before? We saw this at the Wee Spa in L.A. a couple years ago. Some dudette goes, yeah, I'm a woman, I want to be naked. And there was a woman, a black woman with her daughter, who said, that's not going to happen. And there he was, and he was, he was half tumescent. He was
Tumescent?
Yes, he was. Let's say he was raising the flagpole to salute.
Oh. Okay, good. We got
Whatever
it.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
And she went nuts.
Half
Big
that.
riots at the Wee
she went nuts,
Spa.
all right.
Yeah.
And what eventually happened? Well, wouldn't you know? Little Mr. I'm a chick. Well, he's a sexual offender, and he was arrested for exposing himself to this young girl.
Yeah.
But they kicked the girl and the mother out.
What could go wrong? Of course. All right. We got a couple minutes left. Crazy. Joe Biden was out today talking. Are you aware of this?
I heard Weekend at Bernie's speaking a little bit, yes.
Aaron put a crazy town together for us. We haven't had one in a long time. Biden hasn't talked in a long time. Here we go. He talks today. We got Crazy Town. Roll it, Aaron.
I feel like everybody expects. I've done it all because I'm loyal. I do it every damn year. I'm very against
Oh boy!
I feel like everybody. Well, I said lots of luck in the senior year.
What?
You can see that. I'm mentally incompetent and I can't walk and I can beat the hell out of both of them. Why didn't you run against me then? We have a lot going on. And, I'm very proud. I put my record as president against any president at all. I noticed that 12 to 10 leading presidential historians rated me pretty good on that list, and the guy I ran against rated him last. So we'll see.
So you had
I don't know who the press secretary is.
Can anyone make out a word of this?
Thank you,
sir.
You can't make a word out.
Oh my lord! Is that my ears or
You
is
know
that?
what?
Wow.
That
I don't know what he's identifying as, but it's certainly not a person.
I mean,
or somebody who can speak English.
His suit was nice.
Wow.
I have no idea what he just said.
And what a surprise! Nobody's knocking down his door for $300K for a speech.
Isn't that what he says he could beat up? I think somewhere in there he said he could beat up Jake Tapper.
Yeah,
that was
said he could
one of
beat
the
up both of them.
that was one of the
Was he
thoughts
trying to
tried-
kiss the reporter?
It looked like it.
Looked like it.
Either that or
pretty
get it. He was trying to
rapey.
sniff at one or the other. Oof.
Holy cow! Unbelievable.
Bad. Whew.
All right,
job,
Doug,
Aaron.
any other headlines we haven't touched on?
The one big headline that I found today is proof that our kids in the last few years are going in the right direction. It could have been from COVID. It could be just from Donald Trump. It could be a combination, but they are on the right track. Cut number 8 proves it. Here she is. Here's this girl applying chapstick liberally. Cut number 8.
Do you have any chapstick?
Yeah, here.
Apply liberally. Equal rights!
Get her on the show.
There you go.
Get her on the show.
Take us out, Fran. Oh, man. I love that. As always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us. Thanks, everybody on the show. Aaron, Fran, great job as always. Harry on the highway, great job as well. Most of all, thanks to all the Patriots here at the American First Warehouse. Joe the Box, his entire staff, always great to be here at the American First Warehouse. We'll be back here next Friday. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday back in the studio, live from Studio 6B.